starts now.
Welcome to News Watch 12 at 5. I'm Justin Betty. The Wausau Center Mall has seen hundreds of thousands of people walk through its doors over the last few decades. But this week, it officially closed. News Watch 12's Morgan Johnson has details, including what happens next.
What used to be a booming spot for retail therapy is now closed. One by one, popular stores like JCPenney and Sears closed their doors in the Wausau Center Mall. It was built in 1983 and at one point housed 60 stores.
It lived a good life, a quality life.
Dave Ekman is the president of the Wausau Opportunity Zone, a nonprofit created specifically for the purchase of the mall last year.
When we bought the mall on February 4th, we thought we had some time to move forward the redevelopment, but the pandemic changed everything.
When most people were staying home, they turned to online shopping, which Ekman says is part of the reason the mall went downhill.
That's part of it. The location of downtown, when you start getting into tighter locations like a downtown mall, it's challenged because sometimes it's not easy to get to.
The mall officially closed Monday, April 5th. Thanks to a proposal approved by the Wausau City Council, $4.7 million will be spent to help fund the demolition and redevelopment of the mall. Demolition is planned to start in May and end in August. After that, the Wausau Opportunity Zone has big plans for the property.
There will be two main buildings, which will be multifamily housing and commercial. And then there'll be a green space area.
Plus bars, restaurants, shopping, and a social space, and eventually a bridge going over to the riverfront. Although the space that holds lots of memories for people is leaving, what's in store for the future will benefit the city of Wausau.
When you look at that, and I'm looking out at the mall right now as I talk to you, when you look at that 38 years, it did what it was supposed to do for the city of Wausau and greater Wausau in north central Wisconsin.
Reporting for Newswatch 12, I'm Morgan Johnson.
Well, Devin, it's been a pretty wet week. The weekend's here. Will that continue?
Yeah, so right as we head into the weekend, though, we're going to catch a little bit of a break from the rain tonight, but then as we head towards Saturday afternoon, that's when it will begin yet again. And here we are, we have clouds moving in again. As we are watching again for more rain that will be approaching, same deal in Plover. They had a few peaks of sunshine earlier, but so far the rain is starting to hold across our eastern counties and even a little bit of our western counties again. But again, this low pressure system, we've talked about this, slowly but surely rotating off toward the north and east. Temperatures right now, not too bad. Lower 50s, our average high is 50 degrees, so not too far off for this time of the year. We have a little bit of a wind shifting out of the southwest now at around 5, even up to 10 miles per hour. So here's your hourly forecast for tonight. On and off rain showers possible, at least through midnight. Temperatures will be falling into the lower 40s by around 5 a.m. I'll have your full forecast coming up. Justin?
All right, thanks, Devin. For the second straight day, the number of new confirmed COVID-19 cases in Wisconsin topped 1,000. DHS reports 1,092 new cases today, raising our 7-day rolling average to 764. That's the most in almost 2 months. Death numbers have not been rising as quickly. Today, DHS reports 5 new deaths. We're averaging 6 per day over the last week. In our 12-county north central Wisconsin region, DHS reports 17 people are in the hospital with COVID-19. They say 9 of those are in the ICU. Over 2 million people in Wisconsin, about 36% of the population, has now received at least 1 dose of a COVID-19 vaccine, according to the latest DHS dashboard. They say about 23% of the state has now completed their COVID-19 vaccination. The number of vaccinations per day is down slightly from last week's high. We're still averaging, though, about 50,000 doses given out per day in Wisconsin over the last week. UW Health is testing the immune response to COVID-19 from patients that suffer from inflammatory bowel disease. Doctors say IBD affects about 1.3% of the U.S. adult population. And health experts say they're seeing an increasing number of young patients with the condition. IBD patients use immunosuppressant drugs to help treat and manage their condition. However, doctors say these drugs may increase complications when it comes to COVID-19.
The general population, the vaccines work really well. All vaccines work the same. I think most likely it'll work.
The trial consists of 210 participants who have IBD and have either already received or plan to get the COVID-19 vaccine. Health officials test patients' blood to see how their immune system reacts to the vaccine, evaluating the antibodies and T cells. Organizers say the study could shine some light on how COVID and the vaccine react with other conditions.
Other conditions like diabetes or kidney disease can affect vaccine response. So our study will be applicable, and other people can, who use some of our medicine will be able to tell the effect of the medicines on how well you're protected against COVID.
If you're interested in participating in the trial, you can call the Clinical Trial Office, 608-265-6505. The Office of Children's Mental Health and Attorney General Josh Kaul announced today a valuable tool for kids and adults going through a mental health crisis. Organizers say mental health crisis plan cards are simple, free to use, and have proven effective so far. Development began over a year ago with pilot programs in schools around the North Woods.
So we piloted it up in Northland Pines in Eagle River about a year or so ago, and it went over really well. So the Office of Children's Mental Health has been piloting this at other places across the state.
Organizers say schools interested in participating can reach out to the Office of Children's Mental Health to find out more. The push, by the way, to release these cards came after word of mouth got around to schools, universities, and other groups interested in this tool.
The word was spreading, and the Office of Children's Mental Health was getting phone calls saying, how can we use this? How can we learn more about this? And so we have put together some information on the card, what it's used for, how to use it.
We'll have more on this small, simple tool and how it can make a big difference for people in crisis coming up on Newswatch 12 at 6. This week, callers had a lot of questions, more so than thoughts for us here at Newswatch 12. I tried to answer some of them in tonight's My 2 Cents.
To listen to your messages, press L. They're now with this new COVID package out and the billions for schools to get them all reopened. Why is Hudson University specifically listed by itself with an additional $35 million? I was just wondering if you know anything about that. Thank you.
He said Hudson there, but Wayne's talking about money for Howard University, and I had a similar question. I had to look it up. The reason is Howard, along with Gallaudet, which is a school for the deaf, and a handful of other universities are congressionally chartered because they are located in Washington, D.C., so their budget is set by Congress. They're not eligible for other types of relief funding that comes from states, like the University of Wisconsin, for example, because they're not in a state. Good question.
Why on the early shows with Peter and Sierra do the social distancing, but Dan and Jeff at 4 and Justin and Jeff at 5, they do not?
Well, the simplest answer there, Pat, is our station had mostly been letting our staff make decisions for ourselves. We've had some reporters working almost exclusively from home for about a year now. We've had some work from the office almost every day wearing masks. Our morning newscast had 2 anchors and a meteorologist. One of the anchors preferred to anchor from home for a while, which was fine. Early in the pandemic, before numbers kind of exploded here, Jeff and I would normally sit next to each other briefly for about a minute at the end of each show. And we felt comfortable doing that. Now, we stopped that back in the fall. We've been staying socially distant for months now. I and almost everyone in the newsroom has received at least 1 dose of a vaccine so far, and some are starting to travel again. Everyone's different. And even outside of news, people have to decide what kind of risks they're willing to take. I haven't eaten in a restaurant since Valentine's Day of last year, though my family does order takeout a lot. I did see my parents around Christmas, though. We don't have one rule for everyone, and that applies to our news judgment, too. We try to have multiple people look at stories to make sure they're good and they're accurate, but everyone's style is different. We sometimes have different beliefs, and that's good. As a smaller station, we're a teaching station, and I don't want every reporter to be a younger copy of me. They have to learn to be the best version of themselves. Speaking of which,
I don't even believe the guys should be wearing suits and ties. This is the Northwoods. We're not trying to impress anybody. The Northwoods attire is flannel shirts and blue jeans. So I believe that everybody should be comfortable. We're not in a big city. So I think flannel shirts and blue jeans would be just fine.
I agree. News anchors should dress more casually, Scott. And I'll be honest,
I'm usually more of a t-shirt or sweater and jeans guy than a flannel guy, but maybe someday we'll convince folks that this is more or less acceptable TV attire. Thanks for calling.
If you want to make your voice heard on Your 2 Cents, give us a call at 715-365-8812. It's extension 319. Again, 715-365-8812, extension 319. Today, President Joe Biden announced the basic structure and priorities of his first budget proposal. We'll take a look at what's in it in just a few minutes. But first, Devin's in with your full forecast. You're watching News Watch 12. We're proud to serve Star Lake and folks all across the North Woods of Wisconsin.
Carpet City.
Come to Carpet City Flooring Center's biggest sale ever and receive free carpet installation along with an additional $300, $600, or even $1,000 of savings on all flooring products and sale prices. That's right, free carpet installation and an additional savings of up to $1,000 on top of the sale prices. See why contractors and designers only choose Carpet City Flooring Center for their flooring needs.
Our prices will floor you.
Get a stylish solution for every room with window treatments and save with 11% off everything at Menards. Get Window Images room darkening vinyl and aluminum blinds, full wood blinds, and cellular shades trimmed to width for free. Or order a custom style and size. From durable, economical options to stunning custom designs, you'll find the perfect window treatments to transform your space. Right now, all window treatments are 11% off. Get 11% off everything now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
I have the power to lower my A1C.
Because I can still make my own insulin, and Trulicity activates my body to release it.
Once weekly Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. Most people taking it reached an A1C under 7%. Trulicity may also help you lose up to 10 pounds and lower your risk of cardiovascular events, whether you know you're at risk or not. Trulicity isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it, you or your family have medullary thyroid cancer, or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems.
I have it within me to lower my A1C.
Ask your doctor about once weekly Trulicity.
And welcome back. We've made it to Friday evening and more rain showers are moving through again. We can see some of those clouds right here on our sky cam looking off to the east right now. Meanwhile, in Plover, they're also seeing some dark clouds out after they saw some sunshine earlier as well for just a little while. But now we're watching all this rain starting to move through. So here's all the rain right here. It's lifting all toward the north and east now. So finally, the direction is about where it should be for this time of the year, at least in general, I should say. But as we zoom things out and give you the big picture, the center of low pressure right around it here. It's moving into Wisconsin now. We'll finally get this out of here later on tonight and we'll get a little bit of a break. Well, there is another system on the way, and it's starting to develop now, and in fact, it's causing severe weather across the southern U.S. this evening, where severe thunderstorm warnings and severe thunderstorm watches are in effect. But this system here will lift off toward the north, and that will give us more chances for rain as we head towards Saturday afternoon and the Sunday. So meanwhile, we've seen a decent amount of rain so far. We saw 0.3 inches or 0.3 yesterday, and we haven't even measured how much rain we've gotten so far today. We'll make sure to do that soon. But for the month so far, up to 1.6 inches. So a wetter month after we had a pretty dry March, but temperatures are definitely responding to the clouds and the precipitation. Many of us making it into the lower 50s this afternoon, rain falling in Eagle River and Indigo. Also in Wausau, close to 60 degrees. In Wisconsin Rapids, they're in the upper 50s at this hour. So temperatures roughly around average for this time of the year. Average high now being 50 degrees. We'll do lower 50s for the next few days, cooling off a little bit to 46 degrees by Tuesday. Then the warm-up starts to kick in again, 55 degrees by Friday, 5 degrees above average. So 50s, not too bad for this time of the year. That's definitely not the 70s we got to enjoy, but still decently warmer than the cooler temperatures we had over the winter. So futurecast, here we are. So we're going to break this down. We have clouds moving in, maybe some patchy fog developing overnight, but we catch a little bit of a break, but those pesky clouds will be sticking around. but we will be watching for our next system that starts to approach Saturday afternoon from the south and really will hit most of our eastern counties, but everyone will have a shot at seeing just a little bit of rain before we're all set and done with that system. And then after that, there's another one that will move in just in time for Monday into Tuesday, so the rain chances will continue at least through Sunday into Monday. We could see up to another half an inch of rain before we are all set and done. But as we fast forward things even more, look at this. We could see maybe between now and Tuesday, maybe close to another inch of rain. So good for the soil, though, to keep that fire danger down, but definitely have to help grow some of that scenery and once we get all the trees blooming and everything else. Before tonight, the rain will be ending. We'll be mostly cloudy skies afterward. We'll have temperatures in the lower 40s. We'll have southwest wind at around 5 miles per hour. For Saturday, starting off dry, we'll have afternoon rain showers, temperatures in the lower 50s again, with a north wind at around 5 miles per hour. Here's the Northwoods Furniture and Mattress 7-day forecast. So here we go again, right? So we're going to be wet in a Sunday and a Monday. A slight chance of rain for your Tuesday. Temperatures cooling off briefly for Tuesday. Then back in the lower to middle 50s and drier as we head towards the middle part of next week. Justin?
Huge day on Wall Street. The Dow gaining about 300 points to close at a new record high, 33,800. The index is up almost 4,000 points just since January 1st. Remember, it hit a low of roughly 19,000 last March when the pandemic really started to hit. Today, President Biden laid out the basic structure of his hopes for a new budget, focusing on areas like healthcare, education, and the environment. Alice Barr has details from Washington.
President Biden today putting dollars to his sense of priorities, laying out a wish list for his first budget to Congress.
I look forward to working with Congress to advance these and other priorities.
It's a $1.5 trillion blueprint that significantly increases spending in areas outside of defense. The White House calling for billions to boost low-income schools, invest in cancer research, and tackle climate change.
This is the beginning of what we know is a long journey.
It comes amid Republican pushback over spending trillions on COVID relief and now a massive infrastructure proposal.
Why budget at all if you're going to recognize no upper bound limit on what you're going to spend?
Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg defending the need for an infrastructure overhaul.
It's meeting the challenges that we face today, and it is fully paid for by making corporations that pay their fair share.
President Biden also issuing an executive order today, forming a bipartisan commission to consider Supreme Court reforms. On the docket, controversial questions over expanding the number of justices and limiting their terms. A group of Senate Republicans coming out against the president's budget blueprint today. They're accusing him of neglecting military funding in favor of, quote, liberal wish list priorities. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Well, Wisconsinites will argue few topics with the intensity that we tackle cheese conversations. Some lawmakers want to settle the dairy debate once and for all. Which cheese is really Wisconsin's own? We'll break it down after the break.
It's Slumberland's Build Your Room sale. Look what you can get for only $20, $30, $40 a month. Some options for your living room. Just $20 a month when you spend $1,200 and pay no interest for 5 years.
Well, hello, Slumberland.
A Dateline Friday premiere.
When you think you've seen it all, you see this.
You just never really knew what was coming next.
The murder that exposed a secret life and so much more.
Get ready. Here comes another twist.
Dateline tonight, 9/8 Central.
Standby, have a great show, folks.
Who wants Stimmies? Woo!
No, I'm good.
I love this.
Alleged.
Okay. What could possibly go wrong?
There's a splash of surprise in every Wisconsin Lottery scratch game. Like WOW, the new $10 number match game, featuring a chance to win double the prize with a WOW symbol or instantly win $30 for every binocular symbol revealed. A chance to win up to 25 times and a top prize of $75,000. Instant scratch games from the Wisconsin Lottery. Odds are you'll like them.
I think RBA is doing an excellent job of preparing the kids for college. My daughter, who's a junior, is going to start college classes, and she could graduate with almost a full associate's degree.
I think the one thing that people should know about RVA is how well-rounded it is with all the extra things that they can do, not only through school, but through student council and National Honor Society.
The teachers are the best, and the students in RVA are really helpful. I think it's a great program.
Oh, my back. Hey, Dylan, need a mattress? Look what you can get at Slumberland for just $20, $30, $40 a month.
I love choices.
And you'll pay no interest for 5 years. The huge Sealy sale at Slumberland Furniture.
This portion of News Watch 12 is brought to you by Slumberland.
Here in Wisconsin, cheese is a big deal. But what type of cheese is best? Well, 2 state lawmakers have introduced a bill to make Colby the official state cheese. Eric Krest has the latest on this debate.
Walking around Plymouth, Wisconsin, the cheese capital of the world, I'm a bit dumbfounded, confused on how the state that calls milk its official beverage and dairy cows their official domestic animal, well, they still don't have an official state cheese. Today, we're trying to get to the bottom of this.
I don't know that we have a true state cheese, and I think that's because every cheese that comes from Wisconsin is amazing.
Tracy Foss, the manager at the cheese counter, sells hundreds of different varieties of cheeses.
You name it, we have it.
She's pretty motherly in the sense that she just won't name her favorites.
I don't know how I would choose.
But others from the cheese capital of the world aren't afraid to chime in on the great dairy state debate.
I love sharp cheddar. Sharp cheddar is my favorite. After that, I do like blue cheese.
Sharp or extra sharp cheddar is what I routinely use.
Living in the Plymouth area, a community that was built on the cheese industry.
I actually worked at a cheese company here for 10 years.
Locals have a lot to say about cheese and about how perplexing it is that we don't have an official state cheese just yet.
I never took note, but since you mentioned it, I am surprised.
We have a cheese capital of the world. We should have a state cheese.
And while the options are seemingly endless and ever-growing as to what type of cheese could take home the coveted title of Wisconsin's official state cheese,
yeah, we've got a lot of cheese. Yeah, and we're proud of it.
Many aren't sure what to think of Colby cheese being the front runner for a claim to fame that some say all of your state's cheeses deserve.
Colby is a top runner. I would definitely say that. But, you know, we all have our own flavor palette, so I think to each their own.
Go with the flow at Dvorak's Docks. Flow from Dvorak's Docks is installed by trained in-house employees. That's right, no subcontractors needed, so your shoreline setup is guaranteed. Get flow from Dvorak's Docks by calling 275-DOC.
Hi, I'm Dennis from Irma. I've had excruciating pain in my lower back and neck. And I contacted Dr. Scher. We went over the situation together. And after a series of treatments, my pain is gone. So I feel that it was complete and successful.
Are you suffering with back or neck pain and considering the possibility of surgery? At the Spinal Aid Center of Wausau, we incorporate the latest technologies, including high-intensity laser therapy that provides the highest success rates in helping people just like you avoid back and neck surgery. With our treatments, there are no drugs and no surgery, just relief. Call today for a free spinal disc severity consultation and see if our treatments are right for you. Call 715-203-4392 or visit us at spinalaid.com. Start living your life pain-free.
Managing type 2 diabetes? You're on it. Staying active and eating right? Yep, on it there too. You may think you're doing all you can to manage type 2 diabetes and heart disease. But could your medication do more to lower your heart risk? Jardiance can reduce the risk of cardiovascular death for adults who also have known heart disease, so it could help save your life from a heart attack or stroke. And Jardiance lowers A1C.
Jardiance can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, genital yeast or urinary tract infections, and sudden kidney problems. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may be fatal. A rare but life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. And don't take it if you're on dialysis or have severe kidney problems. Taking Jardiance with the sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Lower A1C and lower risk of a fatal heart attack?
On it with Jardiance.
Ask your doctor about Jardiance.
Tune in as Chief Meteorologist Jeff Weller brings you the most up-to-the-minute weather data weeknights at 5, 6, and 10. WJFW utilizes industry-leading technology to provide you with an accurate Northwoods weather forecast.
We've had a lot of thunder and lightning this week, but you may not have seen anything quite like this. A security camera at Watoma High School caught this video of lightning striking a tree outside their building. It slowed down. You can see how the tree just shatters, crumbles after the strike. School leaders say there was no injuries, no property damage outside of the tree, but it is a good reminder to be safe when there is lightning or severe weather in your area. Crazy video. Devin.
Yeah, it's very crazy. This is why they say stay away from trees, and when thunder roars, go indoors, because as soon as you can hear thunder, you're close enough to be struck by lightning. And I guess that's one way to tear a tree down very quickly, right? If you had to cut that down, and just got imploded very quickly. But we are watching just a few rain showers moving through, maybe some moderate, heavier downpours, and maybe in eastern Marathon County right now, and maybe in parts of Portage County as well. So this is moving off towards the east as the last of this low pressure system that's been around for the past several days finally getting out of here, and we'll get rid of it tonight. Maybe a little bit of a dry stretch before more begins to move in. Temperatures right now not too bad, but coming up for your next 7 days. We'll be watching, again, the rain chances continuing at least until Wednesday before we finally dry out. Justin?
All right, thank you, Devin. Thank you for joining us on Newswatch 12 at 5. NBC Nightly News is next. We'll see you back here at 6 with more.